Hey, so we're out here, NRL Border Wars match in like Edwards Air Force Base, California area, and I'm in squad 1, stage 1. First stage of the day is a distance stage, which is not too bad. The wind is pretty calm out here. I think the worst thing you got to worry about is some spin drift, but we did have one shooter just go, so kind of looking at what his impacts were and where I saw the wind going, it looks like it's blowing right to left, and that's kind of what I was thinking coming through the valley, right? So the stage is pretty simple. You shoot from a shooting bench. You start standing, holding all your gear. You engage these two targets at 933, a 30-inch and a 15-inch, with 2 rounds and then 3 rounds, and then you transition to 1,187 yards, and you're going to shoot this buffalo and this tiny little pig with 2 rounds and 3 rounds. So, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. The biggest thing is just taking my time, make sure I got a good position, and you know, full control of that buttstock so that I can watch those rounds go into the target and make any small corrections that I need to. It's very important that I make these corrections after every single shot, watch that impact, and just take my time. If I rush through this, that's where the misses are going to come through. You know, just watching that one shooter go, he shot high over everything at the 1187 and didn't make any corrections. So that's got to be #1 rule right there. Apply the fundamentals, make good shots, follow through, spot your shot, make corrections, and continue. So I'll let you know how it goes after this is all said and done.
Hey, all set?
Ready?
Ready. Shooters, you understand course fire?
Yes.
Spotters up, stand by, go!
Okay, so first stage is done, out of the way. Knocked the rust off. Thought I had a good feeling for what that wind was doing. I held right .2 and bam, right off the right edge, first shot. So I got to see the impact. I made the corrections, you know, hit my 933s, move over to the buffalo, and you know, I'm still thinking that there's some, you know, right to left coming through that valley. And I didn't hold very much to the right, but it was enough to miss off the right side of the buffalo. So made my corrections, got my hits, but I ended up dropping 3. So stage 1, 7 out of 10. You know, starting the day off with a 70%. I'm gonna have to pick this shit up for the rest of the day. But we'll get ready for stage 2 now. So stage 2 is a little bit more targets. It's only one static position shooting from a bench. So again, it's not that difficult of a stage. It's 90 seconds, so it's a little bit shorter. 10 rounds, and you've got targets at 500, 563, I think, 600, 700, 800. 2 rounds per target. So kind of my strategy for this one is I got time to dial. And there's no reason I need to hold because I'm going to execute one target and then move to the next distance. So I'll dial, you know, check my parallax, make sure I got good control of that rifle. I'm observing impacts, seeing where they're hitting on the plate and making adjustments. I mean, I could feel a little bit of a breeze out here, but it's downrange. I mean, looking at like 300 yards, we got some mirage going right to left. And then looking at like the 500, 700, 600 yard area, it's going left to right. So I'm trying to figure out this swirl and what my first hold is going to be. I'm pretty sure I'm going to start favoring left 0.1 and you know, make my adjustments as I go from there. But important just not to rush it. You know, hits are worth more than misses. So take my time and make good hits instead of trying to rush it and miss and take my time. Let you know how it goes. I'm going to crush this one. Did the wind died on me right the last second?
Was that time already?
Well, let's talk about this here. My plan worked for 9 out of 10, okay? Got down in position, got stable. Parallax was already set, dope with dial before I got up there. So all I had to do was get down, acquire the target, you know, look over the scope, find target, build my position. Did what I said, I held left 0.1. I saw the target rotate right, so I increased to 0.2, center. Went to 550, held left 0.2, center, and I just kept walking that 0.2 out. Watching that trace, watching that bullet go into the target center, and it kept working out for me. Until the very last shot. The very last shot out of the gun. At 800 yards, shooting at this pig. Hold left 0.2, puts my crosshair right off of his nose. And that very last shot, that's exactly where the bullet went. So I don't know if the wind died on me or what happened, but I didn't catch it, and I did not clean the stage. But I still crushed it. 9 out of 10, I'll take that all day long. All right, so stage 3 is like a poker run. All right, we targets at 5, 6, 7, 8, and 933. You're gonna hop up, grab a piece of wood, flip it over, it tells you your distance. You drop down, engage that target twice, hop up, grab the next one, and you just keep going for 10 shots, 5 targets. I'm still seeing some left to right, and then some right to left further down the range. So you're gonna be calling my name soon. I'm running a little bit behind, but targets are fairly generous. So we're gonna have to screw the pooch on this one. It sucks, but I'll let you know.
Okay, coach fire. Fire's up. Stand by. 8. Marks on it. 933, wait target. Whatever, dude.
All right, so stage 3 went pretty smooth. You know, just a random draw. Just take your time. You got plenty of time to see what target you got to engage, and just go with it. So I got lucky. My first shot, I think it was at 800. Wasn't the farthest target out there. It was a decent size. I think an 18-inch target or something like that. And I held right point 1, and you know, I saw the target rotate left. Instantly clicked. I needed to make a little bit more of an adjustment. Got my second round, and then it just started to sequence, and I kept that right hold the entire way through, and watching that trace go up and come down into the target. Everything worked out great. 10 out of 10 hits, and you know, just got to keep that up, and you know, make sure I don't break my mental process. You know, all of my preparation before the stage, and then all of my preparation after the stage, dialing back down to 0, wiping my card off, looking at what the next stage is, you know, watching the wind, you know, all of these things, just a continuous process, all while you're trying to help out other squad mates, pick up brass, and be a good team member. So, you know, fun times though. You know, we're all having a good time, and see what stage 4 has for us. All right, so stage 4 is a top loading stage. Distance is 400 and 550, I think. Man, I don't remember the stages right now. I better go study really fast. But anyways, you got 2 targets, right? Number 8 and number 4. Pretty down and dirty. Drop down, single feed 1 round, shoot 8. Single feed 2nd round, shoot 9. Hop up, grab another 2 rounds from the table, get back down, repeat 5 times. 10 points, you got 2 minutes. Not a lot of time to shoot target 8, dial for 9, and then have to dial back down, right? Because you're constantly flip-flopping. So obviously the strategy is going to be to hold for the 2nd target. Now, the challenge with the 2nd target is it's wide for windage, right? But it's very narrow. Very short. So if your hold is off, or you know, if you're rushing it, you're going to shoot over or under that target, and you know, you're just going to be kicking yourself in the ass later. So take your time. That's what I keep saying to myself. Take my time. Remember my hold, right? Straight up on target 8, over 1.4 for target 9. Straight up 1.4. So just keep saying that in my head. When I go up there and I spot targets and I'm watching another shooter shoot, I'm doing the same thing. Looking at target 8, center. Going to target 9, and then repeating that hold in my head. So it's kind of like a mental playback of how I'm going to run this stage. There is other things that I need to think about because we're single feeding. Action is very finicky when it comes to single loading. I can't just throw it into the breech and run it forward. It likes to get jammed up. So I have to put each round inside of there, or I'm going to spend more time trying to get my rifle unscrewed if I don't do that. So again, just slowing down, understanding what I have to do, know my game plan, and go out there and kill it. Wind's picking up a little bit. See how it goes.
Stand by. 7.
So stage 4, it went good. I mean, I did what I was supposed to do, and the bullet did what it was supposed to do, so we got the points that we were supposed to get, which was 10 out of 10. So I'm happy, right? Smile. But you really got to pay attention to what that Mirage is doing. Watch that target. It feels like you're going to run out of time. You drop down, you single feed one, you shoot, watch the target, single feed the next one, shoot, watch the target. You're constantly gathering data. And then you got to get up, grab those other 2 rounds, lay back down. Maybe you have a fumble. Like I had a little bit of a fumble trying to get 1 round in. All right, and it makes you feel like, holy shit, I'm losing all this time. Like I'm burning time right now. And you just got to slow it down and make sure that you focus on what's the Mirage doing. Did the wind change? The way this range is kind of set up, there's a hill right in the middle of this big open valley. So the wind likes to change. Go off to the right, go off to the left. So you'll see a right to left or a left to right wind. And it can get tricky, so you really got to pay attention. Watch how the target moves. Watch for your impacts. You know, you start moving too fast, it's game over. So I'm glad that we had a good stage, and look forward to stage 5. Stage 5, 500, 700, and 800. Decent sized targets. They're about 2.5 MOA. Not too bad. It's 3 different rocks. Shoot 500 from first rock, shoot 700 from second rock, shoot 800 from third rock. Initially, I was going to dial at every rock, but then I opted against it. I'm just going to hold, save time. I'm using a bag under the front that I've, clipped to my rifle with some, sling swivels, and I got a fat bag that I've attached to the buttstock. Basically, just trying to streamline everything so that I can be smooth and efficient going from position to position, because I'm watching everybody time out. Nobody has finished this stage yet, and I don't want that to be the reason that I miss. Now, I don't want to rush either, so I want to get down in position, in a decent amount of time, get on target, make my wind call, which right now I'm thinking about 500 is 0.2, 0.3 right, and then go from there. But yeah, it's all about being efficient so that I don't have to rush those shots. So we'll see how it goes. I'm about to be up, so I'm gonna get ready. Okay, so stage 5, it wasn't too bad. I mean, I made it all the way through. I had plenty of time. I think I finished with like 15 seconds, maybe a little bit more than that. I did drop 4, and it was about 1 shot per rock. First shot, went with my wind call, saw the target swing straight back, and I was like, hell yeah, we're good. Held that same 0.2 right, and went right off the right, maybe that bottom right edge, so a little bit low on my dope there, and shit, okay. So get my last hit, first position, go to the second position. I'm still stable, I'm not having any hard issues. I got all 3 hits at that one, and then I went to the last position, and I dropped a couple there, and one was a mental mistake. So first mental mistake of the day. It's not that I forgot to hold, it's that I didn't hold the right thing. I didn't take the time to read my reticle. I did 1.4 instead of 2.4, and it cost me 1 shot. Sent the next round, right off the left edge there, wasn't enough wind, and then the third round got that hit. So yeah, it was just not really positional stuff. It was just, you know, getting through there and trying to make those wind calls as best as I could and spot those impacts. And you know, this one got me a little bit, but you know, we just got to learn from it and move on to stage 6. So we're going to get prepped for stage 6 and you know, keep in mind what we just learned from stage 5 and go from there. All right, stage 6. There's some distance for these targets. It's like 870 and 965. The hold lines up, right? So I dial for 870, and it's a 1 mil hold for 965 or whatever it is. The challenging part is there's 4 positions on this tank trap. You got the center cradle and then the 3 tips. You have to engage target 10, target 11, 1 round each, then move to positions. So you got some distance out there. You're gonna deal with the instability. Got to make a wind call. I'm thinking right now I'm still gonna hold right. I'm just probably not gonna leave the target after last experience. The challenging aspect is it's 90 seconds. So there's a short timeline. When you're down in the cradle, the way they have the tank trap position, it's not allowing guys to rack the bolt fluidly. They got to pull the rifle out, rack the bolt, and then get back into it. So there's a lot of things built into this, and you know, this may be a stage that I don't finish simply because I would like to get hits instead of miss fast. So we'll see how it goes, but I probably find myself taking time and maybe not worrying so much about getting to the last position. So here we go. Much better. Lesson learned from stage 5, you know, dealing with that windage. For this one, I mean, you've got mirage from us to the target going right and left, and then you've got mirage going left to right down there. And just based off what happened on the previous stage, I said I'm gonna go with 0.2 right, which put me on the right edge of the target, which made that perfect, right? It's the only thing I gotta focus on. So I looked at the tank trap, and I'm like, okay, people have problems in the middle. I need to make sure I'm efficient working around this tank trap. So I knew that if I started on the left side, I have to go left side, then middle, then tip, then tip. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to do that yet. So I started on the right side. I put my hip into it, it's kind of wobbly, get it to settle down, and it was solid. Held 0.2 right, impact, go to the next target, make sure I got my holdover on that right edge, impact, everything went good, and you know, had a slight malfunction in the middle, brass didn't eject all the way, not a big deal, dropped the mag, new mag in, and I'm right back in it. Even towards the end, I just kept myself saying, don't rush it, don't rush it, don't rush it, and I ended up walking away with 8 out of 8, so that's pretty good. Okay, so we're on the second half of this match, right? Stages 7 through 12, I believe, and we start on stage 7. It's not a lot of distance. It's 320-ish yards, right? But it's a KYL rack, and the way that they have it set up is if you want to shoot from big to small, you have to shoot with your non-dominant side, your left hand for me, right? Left eye, left everything. If you want to shoot strong side, or your dominant side, you got to start small. Now it's a tiny little target, and we've got a decent amount of wind blowing right to left. You could almost say it might be in the ballpark of like a 0.5 mil to 0.6. So my strategy, confident in my abilities, is to go left-handed first, make my wind call, observe my impact, see where they go. That way I can try and clean it up at the end with the strong side, because I want to start big and work my way small. It gives me more margin for error. That's kind of my thought process. So next, I'm going to go observe the targets, make my final wind determination, and I'm going to hit it. Here we go.
Stand by.
60%. Well, let's recap it. How did the plan start? The plan started great. I held right 0.6. Now it's a decent sized target. I was shooting left-handed, so I got to start on the big one. Hit. I got to observe the impact, which was good for me. I cut my hold down, 0.4 right, hit the next target, hit the next target, hit the next target, and I don't know, wind change, whatever it was, but that tiny little 2-inch target at 320 yards. I held right 0.4. I saw the miss right. I'm like, shit. Now switch hands. I'm on my dominant side. Build my position, get relaxed, aim for the small one. Now it goes left side. Shit. And this is mental mistake number 2 right here. Instead of engaging the next smallest target, or the next one to the left, I skipped it to the third one, shot it. Now it was a hit, but it didn't matter. I shot in order. So I had to re-engage that target. Now it is doing this. I know if I wait for it to stop, I'm going to run out of time. So I attempted to engage it as a mover. As it was up and starting to fall towards us, I pressed, and it was a little too early. Shot went right underneath of it, and then I finished off with the final 2 targets, getting my impacts. So mental mistake probably cost me 2 points, and I had to finish with an 8 instead of a 6, but it is what it is. It's a challenging stage, and lesson learned. But I got a good wind call for the next stages, and we're just going to keep pressing on. So I look forward to it. And all right, so I'm about to be up for this next stage. I don't know what number it is. I think it's stage 8, the logs. So there's 3 different logs, and they're different heights, different diameters, wobbly, and you got to shoot at this target 280 yards, tiny little 5-inch plate maybe. So it's not a huge target. Still got this pretty good wind coming through here, about 12, 13 miles an hour. So if you're not holding wind for this target, you're gonna miss. I'm gonna hold right. I'm gonna start off 0.4 hold, see how that gets me. Just observe the target. I'll be using a tripod for the rear this time. The rules are you have to deploy the tripod on the clock. So I'll start rifle in hand, tripod, and as soon as the buzzer goes, kick that tripod open. Hopefully I can get it with my feet, set my rifle down, reach through, and it's all about efficiency, right? I don't want to rush the shot, so I want to be as smooth and as fluid as I can getting through these different positions. So we're about to be up. We're gonna go lay some lead down and work for that 9 out of 9 hits. Here we go.
Buttons are up. Stand by.
All right, so we just finished up with stage 8, and everything pretty much went according to plan. I mean, the one downside was it was kind of painful to really spot where you impact on that target. I mean, the target's so small, you hit it and it just goes everywhere. So I started off with that 0.4, hit, and then I got a miss. And I saw the miss right off the right edge. Cut my wind call down, continued going through the different positions, and I finished with an 8 out of 9, so not too bad. I wish I could get that one back, but I'll live. So outside of that, I mean, slow, smooth, knowing how to maneuver with the tripod, looking over the rifle, over the barrel, getting my general natural point of aim, and then looking through the scope really helped me acquire the target quickly. So it could be worse, but it turned out really good. This is, I believe, the 3rd stage where I've had a piece of spent brass not eject. And, really going through your corrective measures, your immediate action drills and knowing what they are. For me, it's been drop the magazine, insert new magazine, and go back to work. So it's easier than trying to fish that piece of brass out of the action. You could spend 30 seconds doing that. So just get rid of that mag, get a new one in, and get after it. So we're gonna get ready for stage 10 or stage 9. Stage 9's coming up, and we'll fucking keep rocking and rolling. This is stage 9. It's a rooftop stage, but it's reversed, so the slope is facing the targets. Targets are slightly uphill, so you got to think about like how high you want the tripod. 120 seconds, so how much time you want to spend getting the tripod set up, right? For me, I'd rather take the time needed to get the tripod set up so that I have that stability and I can just effortlessly go through the targets and engage using my MaxOrdinate tripod, super stable. For this one, I will have 2 legs forward and 1 leg back, and that'll kind of serve as my elbow support. I'm taking the bag as like a backup, like maybe I need this, maybe I don't, but if I need it, it's there. So it's 2, 3, and 4 target, right? Target 2, 3, and 4, and then 3 and 2. So 2 rounds each target, 10 rounds total. Still got a little bit of that tricky wind out here, but the targets are 5 inches at 250 yards, so not too bad. We'll see how my plan works out.
Stand by.
rooftop, I mean, it went solid. It was, you know, just exactly how I envisioned it. You know, my mental rehearsal, what I was gonna do, you know, just it went. So I left my bipods on my rifle so that as soon as the buzzer went, I could set my rifle down and get the tripod set up the way that I wanted it, and then get on and take my time getting the tripod set up. I went higher than pretty much everybody I saw. Everybody was using a tripod, but I chose to go higher. One extension open on the bottom, front two legs, to elevate the tripod and actually put me in a decent seating position. And it worked out well. I took the bag, didn't need the bag, and the tripod's just a really stable platform. So get my hits, watch those impacts, make good wind calls, and you know, it worked out good. So 10 for 10 on that guy right there. And you know, I like rooftop, so I enjoy that one. But moving on to stage 10. Stage 10, what we got next. So look forward to that. All right, so we got a little bonus here. We got the Master Blaster Jeremy Ty, Las Vegas. Bam! Hey,
What's up, guys?
Okay, so he's gonna run the same thing, reverse rooftop, and he's gonna kind of give us a lowdown on what his plan is, his thought process, and we'll check in with him after it's over, see how it went.
Yep, so for my plan, what I'm thinking right now is there's a lot of time. It's 2-minute par time. There's only 3 targets. So I'm gonna have plenty of time to set up the tripod, so I'm gonna really concentrate to like take my time, make sure that those legs are locked, get my gun tied in tight, get a good position. Even if it takes me 60 seconds to build a position, I'm okay with that, because once I get that position built, those targets, they're all the same distance basically. So it's 2 on target 1, 2 on target 2, 2 on target 3, then back to 2, and then back to 1. The transitions are easy, so I'm gonna concentrate more on building my position than I am actually shooting the targets.
Solid plan, see how it goes.
So I just finished that stage. I feel like I executed my plan well. Took my time, got my tripod set up. I was super stable. I was just a little stupid about the wind. You'll probably see me reach up and actually take some wind off of my gun. I had put 2 tints on there, was holding center, and both of my misses squirted off the right edge. So gave the wind too much credit, but other than that, my execution of my stage plan I think was awesome. If I could shoot it again, I wouldn't change a thing, except I'd hold straight up.
All right, so pretty straightforward. I've got a bag attached to the front of my rifle. It's gonna sit on the edge of the tire. I'm gonna use a tripod in the rear. It's a 90-second stage, but I'm not worried. I think I can move through each set of targets. First target, second target, back to the first target in 20 seconds or less. So I got some time to set up a tripod and get some height out of it. I'll be worried about that third level. What you have to do is start first set of tires, shoot the 3 targets, grab a tire, put it on top, repeat. Grab another tire, put it on top, repeat. Still got that right to left wind, and I'm not very worried about it. The targets are somewhat small, but I think we'll be able to pull this off. So here we go.
All right, shooter. 11 down, point fire. Fire up. Stand by.
Kind of pissed off at myself for that one. Get the tripod extended, but I don't extend it all the way, and I don't know why. I just didn't. Open them about halfway, lock them down, running through, everything's going smooth. I get to that third tire, tripod's too short, so I got to set the rifle on the tires, open the tripod one more time, and I didn't have enough time. I just ran out of time. Like, the time I would have had to engage those 3 targets, I burned having to adjust the tripod again. So I might be able to chalk it up to a mental error. It wasn't really, it's just kind of like a brain fart. Yeah, mental error, stupid. So there's 3 points right there, lost. So I have to put that one in the memory banks for next time. You know, with every failure comes like you know, a learning lesson, so it's important that you learn those lessons. Definitely gonna take one home for that one. Wind wasn't too bad. I mean, I held .2 just like previous times. Just hammer those targets. Just that one little mistake, and that's the difference right there. That could be, you know, that could be top 5 finish, or, you know, not placing at all. So we're gonna clean it up for these last 2 stages and see how we can walk out of here. We'll see how it goes. All right, so stage 11. You got 3 barrels, 1 standing up, 1 sideways, and 1 laying down long ways. And you gotta shoot 3 rounds from each barrel. So target 5, target 6, target 5, barrel 1. Go to barrel 2, 6, 5, 6. Then barrel 3, 5, 6, 5. Now, you gotta shoot them in the proper order. They're small, they're not very far, got some wind, and I like to throw in this, it's a tiebreaker stage. At this point, I don't care about the tiebreaker. I want the hits more than I want a fast time. So I'm just going to take my time. I am going to use a tripod again. I need some redemption from stage 10 that, you know, ate my lunch because I didn't have the tripod high enough. So tripod for rear support, bag in the front, and I'm just going to run my game, make good shots, and see how we finish. 9 shots total.
7. Look at it back.
So we just finished stage 11.
Spotter.
9 shots.
I need a spotter.
Walk away with 7. So, I mean, I had 2 misses. It was on the farther target, 325 yards, tiny ass little square plate, and just didn't hold enough wind 2 times. So, I mean, I saw it go off the left. I thought I added a little bit more, but it just wasn't enough. But, you know, I made the corrections and finished strong. Like I said, I didn't care about time. I just went tripod. 7 out of 9, I'll take it all day long, and we'll see how the rest of the day goes. We got 1 stage left. 1 stage to walk away with a clean, and that's how you feel good, right? But I'll still feel good any other way. I think right now I'm shooting 85% out of 100%, so we'll see. All right, so the last stage of the day, stage 12, and I got the benefit of going first. So it's a unique stage, kind of. I mean, the targets aren't any different. We're still shooting target 5, target 6, but it's a VTAC barricade, and there's a tree stump next to it. So you're gonna drop down, you're gonna get on that tree stump, and you're gonna shoot 6, 5, 6. Then you're going to get to the first level of that VTAC barricade, and you're going to do same shot process. And then the next level, same shot process. Then the next level, same shot process. So it's 4 different positions and 3 shots per. So a 12-round stage. And I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You just got to deal with this wind. You got to deal with these small targets at short distances. You know, believe the bullet. Trust in your wind call. Make good corrections. And, you know, outside of that, I mean, my game plan is pretty simple. I'm gonna run with my game changer attached to my rifle for the front, and I'm gonna use the tripod in the rear again. I mean, I gotta deploy it on the clock, but it's worth it. It's that stable, and you got 2 minutes to get through this. Pretty confident I can do it, and I don't see any issues. I'll let you know how my final stage goes.
Shooter, do you gotta stay on the course of fire? Spotter's up.
Oh, I don't know.
Got it? Stand by.
Okay, so we finished stage 12. Shit was rough. Okay, couldn't figure out what was going on. Dropped down in the prone, missed the first 3. Like, what the fuck? Had a solid position, but smallness of the target. Trying to figure out where it hit. It was a crapshoot. Second position. I finally hit one and figured out the problem. Target's at 300 yards. Must be kicking up there 15, 16 miles an hour because I'm holding half a mil to get this hit. Now it is a small target, but half a mil, you know, 0.6 at 300 yards. That's some good wind up there. Finally started going through the positions as fast as I could, but I had taken so much time to try and figure out where my shots were going that I didn't get all 12 rounds off. I only got 11. So brutal end of the day, but I walked out of here still shooting in the 80% hit ratio minus that stage, but overall not too shabby. We'll see how it fares out. You know, we're all here in the same conditions. There's some good shooters here, so we'll see what we do.
The trophy and $250. 92 points, Tyler Hughes.
All right, so the Edwards NRL Border Wars match has come to a close, and I was fortunate enough to walk away with the W with a total score of, I believe it was 94 or 96 points. You know, what I usually calculate, what I like to look at is my hit percentage. There was 116 rounds total fired, and out of that I hit 96. It's like a 79.5% hit ratio, and you know, I typically judge my performance off of how that hit percentage is, and I like to be around the 80s, maybe a little bit higher, but it's also a good judge of how difficult the match was. And you know, walking away with the win and, you know, barely cresting or hitting, you know, around 80% lets you know that it was pretty challenging. There were some stages where it wasn't too bad, but then other stages would just, you know, eat your lunch, and you know, just constantly trying to improve and get better. Mental mistakes, you know, I had a few of them, so got to work on that. I mean, that's the biggest killer right there is mental mistakes. You can get better with skill and things like that, but you got to keep a clear head, have a game plan, you know, your mental focus, and just having that mental process where you got your dope, you got your position, you know how you're going to run the stage, what are you going to do if you get a jam, or, you know, the plan that you had doesn't work. So constantly trying to have a plan A and a plan B to fall back on, but following the plan, believing the bullet is a big part of it. But overall, it was a great match. A lot of wind out here towards the afternoon, which started to get to a lot of us. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the performance, and look forward to just eliminating those mental mistakes. It's my biggest challenge, is you know, not having any mental errors on. Even if I don't win, if I walk away knowing that there was zero mental issues for the entire match, I feel like that's a win. So until next time, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you took a lot from it, and look forward to seeing you guys at any one of our training sessions or our matches, and keep pushing on. Hey,
I haven't splashed some water
you
on
had
him.
one fucking job. One fucking job, just to hit the target 9 times.
Ready?
I missed right both times.
Up.
I told you.
Okay, shooter.
He didn't listen to me. He didn't listen. Get that face right
I
there.
should have listened to him. He told me 0.2, I did 0.3, and I missed.
Yeah. Like right above the nipple.
Right here. We'll go over that.
I mean,
This
you
is my
saw-
single worst thing
I mean,
ever.
you saw what he did.